Well, remember that Bob Gordon Elderberry we trimmed a couple of years ago? Well, this is her. And she's grown out the sides and she's running all over the place. About 10 foot high, huge spread. Bob Gordon Elderberry. Let's check her out. We're gonna take it up a notch. She has slightly different walk. I'm curious to know if I'm gonna get right down here. You can see that ladybug larvae. Bam! Pull the thing down like a monkey. The girth on her is got to be at least 20 foot round. Now, she was pretty small in 2020. We trimmed her down really good. You can check out that video. It's 2023 and she has just absolutely gone nuts. We have a Johns Elderberry here. We have a red and a blue elderberry. True story, those are native to North America. We also have a black lace elderberry. It's a huge family of fruiting plants. But the Bob Gordon is this. Bob Gordon is really, really vigorous. That is dogwood right behind me. But otherwise, this is the Bob Gordon. Over to the side is the Johns. Johns is more erect. You could see that it flowers and fruits a little earlier. These have already flowered and they're turning into fruit. They're green first and they'll get darker and darker as they go to fruit. She's got a little suckering. The Johns has a little suckering. And just for a little situational awareness, the Johns is 15 feet away from the Bob Gordon. How do I know this is from the Johns versus the Bob Gordon? Well, I don't technically, but it's parallel away from the Bob Gordon. So I'm gonna assume this is the Johns. Also, the fruit has already, the flowering has finished, so that's another clue. Clearly, the Johns has finished flowering and is going to fruit, whereas the Bob Gordon is still in the flowering process. This is sort of where the bushes divide between the Johns in my hand and the Bob Gordon with the flowers. Give you an idea of size here. Let's go around. This is a sassafras and we're underneath an American holly. Now, if you want to have a green screen, imagine having a big ass green screen. Very easy to prune down. You can cut it down to the ground in winter. The energy comes up from the ground, from the root system. That new growth really keeps stimulating strong flowering and strong growth. I don't think you want stick branches and stems more than 3 years old on these plants. The visual from the road is awesome. They make gigantic. That's right up against my noggin, so you get an idea. I mean, that's as big as my big ass head. Okay, that's a big ass flower and it's just loaded with those flower heads. So the visual's fantastic and a green screen is fantastic, and her vigorousness is a great way to have an area fill in. In an exhibition garden, it's gonna be not acceptable because her runners are gonna go underground and just keep creeping sideways. So if you're gonna have an exhibition garden, what do you do with this in the middle of it? The way I'll probably have to approach this is to actually dig a moat around this plant. I'm going to have tons and tons of root mass that I'm not too sure what I'm going to do with it. I'm here in the Washington DC area. If you've got any ideas, I'm completely open to it. Potting is sort of a pain in the ass. I've got some potted girls over here. They need a lot of care. These are in a semi-shade area because you need to keep watering them. There's some pawpaw behind there. Some more cleanup we need to do because now we got a deer fence up all around Heppy. 550 feet of deer fencing. That took a minute. So we can pot them and put them up for sale and monetize them. That's got its whole rhythm also, right? You're always going to be posting ads, answering questions. Are they still available? Because you know you're going to have an ad up when they're not available. Anywho, and if this girl doesn't get contained in some sort of form or fashion, she'll be everywhere. And that's why you need to be careful with elderberry. My recommendation with elderberry is to put them in a spot where if they do bolt and if they do run and if they do start growing sideways very vigorously, you can either let it go because that's what you want to have happen, like a natural green screen, a fence, maybe even a little bit of wind protection from these. They're sort of a soft wood, so I don't know if you're going to get wind protection. Anyways, definitely a green screen, right? We could disappear right into that thing and you wouldn't see anyone. But when you plant them and you don't want it to run all over the place, you're really going to be thinking ahead, and you may want to be more proactive in creating some sort of moat around the plant. Will the roots keep going down and then, across the moat and back up? Yeah, maybe. Depends on what your moat looks like. Ours is probably going to be pretty deep. I really like her being here. It's got a great visual from the road. So if you want a green screen, this is just the ideal plant, Bob Gordon Elderberry. If you're going to plant it in your garden, be very careful of its location. You have been forewarned that you will get all the elderberry that you could ever want. I hope you liked this video. I hope you learned something about elderberry in general. I hope I pass along lessons learned in growing elderberry. Bob Gordon grows far more vigorously than the Johns Elderberry. Please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification number the notification bell as we continue learning more about all the varieties of elderberry that we have here and how we address the renegades. Take care of yourself. Take care of someone else if you can. Love you. Bye.